Praise the Lord, everyone. Thank you for tuning in with Dr. Leisha, the preacher. Well, I just got in from skating. And what's so interesting is I did all that skating, dancing and stuff all around the rink several times. I danced for about an hour and a half, just skating and skating, right? So I go to get off the floor, the skating floor, and I go over toward where my goddaughter and godson was in the arcade area. And then I'm actually holding on to the bar going down this little ramp. And at the end of the ramp, I fall. I'm like sitting up here thinking, I don't want to fall while I was skating, right? I skate for an hour and a half, no falling, okay? I ain't skated in about 15 years. And then as soon as I'm clearly off the floor, okay? And in the arcade area, I fall. I'm like, oh my God. So I got like this little sore spot right here and a sore spot on my hip. So I'm gonna have to when I get back from dinner tonight I'm going for some lobster, oysters, and shrimp tonight, okay? So when I get back from dinner, I'm gonna soak my old ass, okay? Because I'm 51, y'all. 51-year-olds can't be falling. We might not be able to get our asses back up, okay? So when I get back from dinner tonight, having, well, oysters and lobster and shrimp, shoot, I'm soaking my old ass in the tub, okay? Woo, I'm out here falling and skating. But I was so careful on the rink, you know what I'm saying? And even though it was a bunch of kids and stuff, but I'm going to start going on adults only night because kids will just cut right in front of you. Ain't nobody got time to be falling because some kids is cutting you off. I'm too old to be falling. I'm old. You know I'm old. I might wear blue hair and, I might dress and act kind of lively and whatever, but I'm old, okay? Let's keep it real. I ain't got no reason to not keep it real, okay? So I'm not really sure what kind of message I'm giving right now. I'm ready to do my Jezebel reading, part 3, the last of Jezebel. I am ready to do that. I think that's going to be the next video, Jezebel part 3, okay? But today I'm just gonna go ahead and do a Genesis, Ecclesiastes, just a Dr. Leisha the Preacher Oracle. At this point, it's not limited to Genesis. It's not limited to Exodus at this point, because God is just spitting out all these sermons in me. Now that I've done one sermon, y'all watch my video, my first sermon. I'm so excited. I've waited my whole life to be able to preach like that, y'all. Y'all have no idea what I've endured and what I went through in order to get up there and preach at the pulpit like that. I mean, I have suffered and endured and lost everything and all kind of stuff. Like, I feel like one of the disciples and apostles. I do. It may sound ridiculous, and that's okay, but I feel like them. I feel like I had to lose everything. I felt like I had to endure a lot of stuff in order just to preach God's words once. Just one time up there in the pulpit. Just one time took all that I went through to get there. And I've been through a lot of shit. Unnecessary shit in my mind, but for whatever reason, God felt it was necessary. Just like Job. We got to remember, God invited Satan to go after Job. See, y'all think God is just, one way, just good, loving, and all that. But for us to be like him, we had, in order for us to be like him, we have to remember that, it takes knowing evil. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know if y'all understand what I'm saying, but I'm just going to leave it right there. So, but I love God, even though, you know, he can be interesting. God is interesting. He's not just, you know, what we act like he is. You know what I'm saying? He's not limited to the quote unquote goodness that is in our man that we think he is. He's not limited to that. And he is not limited to the Bible either. The Bible is not large enough to contain all of what God is. Come on now. Everybody say if it's not in the word, then it ain't God. God is not limited to no Bible. He ain't limited to the Bible. Huh? Anyway, I'm gonna just, 3 cards came out. And so I'm just going to look through them. One is from Ecclesiastes, and one is from Genesis, and one is from Ecclesiastes. So we got 2 from Ecclesiastes, 1 from Genesis. So I'm going to review them and then decide which one I'm going to focus on the most. So it says, to every purpose under the heaven. Okay, so this is Ecclesiastes 3:1 and 8:6. To every purpose under the heaven. Time and judgment equals misery of man is great. Ooh-wee. Only for a season though. You know what I'm saying? Wow, that's deep. To every purpose under the heaven is only a season. Every purpose is only for a season. It was only for a season that I was going to be a wife and mom. That was just for a season of my life, which happened to be 31 years. God wanted me to be a wife and mom for 31 years. That was the season. But time and judgment equals misery of man is great. So that means that because we know we only got a certain amount of time to achieve our purpose and calling that God himself appointed over our lives, that makes us miserable because we want to just waste a lot of time. We want to waste time for some reason. I don't know why. This is a mist or wetness, waters all the ground to reproduce or grow. So this is based on Genesis 2:6, when you know, when God made Adam, you know, he had stated that it had not rained yet, but yet he needed a man to till the ground. God knew off the rip that man was going to till the ground, even before man sinned. Even before Adam made a mistake, God already knew he wanted a man to till the ground. So it just made sense that his curse would match his intentions. Y'all don't understand. And that's okay. I'm not going to say who don't understand. Forgive me for saying that, but I just have a weird way of looking at the scriptures. And I admit it. It's not the usual way. It's not. This is a time to die. Yeah, we have an appointed time once. You know, we're going to die. We have to accept that. Followed by judgment. Ooh, see, judgment on here and judgment on here. So, yes, we're all going to be judged. Yes. Even though we are saved, we still have to give an account for how we treat people. We still have to give an account for whether or not we obey God. We have to give an account for the choices we make, period. Because we all going to return to the dust and all go to one place of dust. So yeah, we were all, since Adam was created, yeah, look at this. Since Adam was created from mist and dirt, we all are going to return to that same dirt. We're all going to return to the earth. We're all going to return. But before we go, we have an appointed time to die, and we're all going to face judgment, even though we are saved. Our judgment doesn't have anything to do with the salvation that Jesus provided us, but we still are responsible and have to give an account for how we treat people and whether or not we obey God on our journey here. We have to obey God. We can't get around it. we're going to have to face the judgment of his obedience, or of our obedience, regardless. So I'm going to keep all these cards because they're all tied in some kind of way. We all have a purpose for being here. We are all under some type of spiritual and earthly contract just to be here. Okay? And we have to give an account. We do. Jesus. Let me burn some more sage. Please click like and subscribe to my channel. I think I'm still at only 187 subscribers. But I'm not going to give up. I've been doing this for some years now. More so a year. But I know at some point my channel is going to reach up to the thousands of subscribers. I know it is. I know it is. I know it is. Because I am sticking to the script. I am. All right, so let me see where I'm going to go. Where am I going to go with this? Where am I going to go with this? Where am I going to go with this? I'm going to go with... I'm going to call these my Pam cards. Pam of healing. Because my friend name is Pam, who gifted me these cards. Pam gifted me these cards. And these are my healing cards, animal and healing cards. Animal healing cards. Okay. So we have the wolf, card number 15, wolf. I'm not done shuffling, but I just wanted to show you that because I had stopped and talked. And so I'm going to call these my Pam card. I love you, Pam. She's the first person that has given me not only 2 sets of new tarot cards, but she also gave me this sweater. And I did wear this sweater for a reading once. She gave me this sweater. So this is my tarot sweater, my reading sweater, my spiritual sweater that Pam from Tampa gave me. Okay, so Pam gave me that. And y'all know I have my rod and my staff that comforts me. Okay, the rod and staff comforts me. So, you know, I feel like we need to, a part of healing is accepting the fact that, you know, there is a purpose. We have a purpose here. We have a purpose in that we are under contract, you know. We are under a heavenly and earthly contract. Ooh, this one popped out, y'all. I'm going to take it, okay? We already saw the wolf card, number 15. And here is the coyote. Coyote, wolves. Ooh, and the horse card. Horses on the bottom. And on the bottom of the deck, we have hummingbird. Oh, hummingbird, horse, wolf, and coyote. My Lord. Those are a lot of... That's a lot going on there. Thank God. Wolf, hummingbird, coyote, horse. To me, the coyote and the wolf are similar energy of healing. And what's interesting is coyote, y'all know I volunteer to do home improvement work with my church out in the community. It's volunteer work and out in the community. And one of the clients that we just finished recently doing a bathroom, we completely gutted out the bathroom and redid the bathroom. Okay, you know, and the owner of the home, she was saying that the coyotes tend to eat her goats. She has like at least 50 acres of land, okay? And so the coyotes eat her goats, okay? So it's interesting. But she has a bunch of chickens around. And I shared the video with you guys of chickens running around her property, okay? And what's interesting is a few months back, on my way to Florida from Detroit, Michigan, I was on my way from Detroit. This was back in July. Back in July, I had stopped somewhere, I believe in Kentucky, to meet a new friend. And they had hummingbirds flying around their house. They were farmers. My friends were farmers. I think it was Kentucky somewhere, either Kentucky or Tennessee. I had to look back. But anyway, but they had hummingbirds. And this is card number 44. Okay. And horse. The horse card. Just so, I mean, I always make things personal for me, but you can make it personal for you. But that's just how my readings go. My readings are personal. And if you happen to benefit, great. But the horse card, I desire to horseback ride on a beach. The last time I was on a cruise, which I think I have a video of me on the cruise. Like, what? A little over a year ago. A little over a year ago, I was on a cruise. A little over a year ago, about a year and a half now. I was on a cruise, and it's on this channel, YouTube channel. And I was trying to decide for one of the excursions if I was going to do horseback riding on the beach. And I decided not to because I was scared that the horse would knock me off into the ocean and I would float off forever. But since then, there's a horseback riding on the beach near Jacksonville, Florida. So I have been looking to do that. So this is confirmation that I need to go ahead and do horseback riding on the beach. Okay. So see how you can personalize the readings. Okay. So I've always known what my purpose is. I've always known what my earthly and heavenly contract was. I've always known, and I've always shared it to anybody that I've been in love with or married to or dating or whatever. So that has not been a mystery in my life. And I have learned since then and understand how man was made and under the circumstances that God created and made us. I've done my research. And I accept the fact that when my purpose and calling is done on this life, I am going to die. I'm going to return to this earth. I'm going to return. Yeah. But before I do, I want to make sure I am living my purpose and calling according to God. I want to make sure my heavenly and earthly contract is fulfilled. And I believe that these, animals, energy, and purposes, and all of this is connected. Because I am a believer. I'm a believer of Jesus Christ. Despite my paganism. My paganism, meaning my connection to this earth. Paganism just means that we're earthly beings. And in addition to our spiritual obligation, we have a heavenly and earthly purpose, calling, obligation, contracts to fulfill, and we can't ignore them. Period. So with that being said, let me go ahead and use Pam's other deck. Okay, she gifted me this tarot deck, and I forget the name of this deck. I forget, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle them. God is so good, y'all. He's so good. I can't wait to eat my lobster, oysters, and shrimp tonight. I can't wait. Ooh, been skating today, and I still got a dinner date, so I gotta get ready for my dinner date. I'm gonna wear my blonde hair and this other cute little, hoochie mama outfit I got. Oh, Jesus. I'm enjoying my life, y'all. I'm determined. I'm determined to enjoy my life. I was married 31 years. Ooh, I'm going to take this card because it wanted to come out. And it is the lightning struck tower. The tower card. Wow. The tower card. Just as I was saying, I'm going to enjoy my life. In order for me to enjoy my life, I had to let go of the previous one. I had to let go of the previous life in order to enjoy this life now. I put in 31 years of marriage, 2 different men, and now it's time to focus on me. Before I die, I gotta make sure I fulfill. When I mean focus on me, make sure I fulfill my heavenly and earthly contracts and obligations, because I'm going to be judged. I'm going to be judged because it's, you know, it's my purpose, my destiny. I'm going to be judged, and I understand that. I understand that. So how look at God, you know, the tower, judgment, right here. This is my time. I'm being judged right now. God is holding me accountable right now to obey him. Bottom of the deck, the hangman, because I have been, you know, I mean, family life is family life. We all who are called to have a family must endure it. And I finished my contract as far as getting a family to a certain place. You know, I did not, God released me when my last was 21 years old. When my last child, you know, hit 21, that's when God released me. And I am no longer hung up. A tower hit and released me from that 31 years, that 31-year contract that I was under, to make sure a family got to a certain place. And I did it. I stayed on the post. So I am no longer obligated and hung up to the family life no more. Now I'm able to focus on, let me see what's on top of the deck. Woo! Okay, the devil card. I mean, I'm getting, look at this reading. This is crazy. And I know I always make it personal, but this can be fitting to you too. You know, if you're watching this and listening to this and resonate with this, this is for you. I know I'll make it personal because that's just how I do my readings. That's just me. I'm weird that way. Other readers always say, well, you. Well, I'm talking about me, the devil card. So yeah, I had to endure that life. I had to endure those 31 years, even though it almost took me out. That represented the dark side, the evil side of my life, because I wasn't living my purpose and my dream personally. You know, I was living the earthly contract side of my life. Prior to 31 years of marriage, I was living the good side of my life. I was living my purpose and my dreams and the calling on me and all that. But then I had to also satisfy the family life, which represent that evil and dark side, meaning that I had to deny me and carry the cross. I almost didn't make it, y'all. I had several suicide attempts trying to be married and raise kids. The earthly contract that we are under represents that. You know, we all partook of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Good and evil. But see, now I'm able to live out the good side, that spiritual side of my life, because I've eaten of the tree of life. The tree of life. And I know it might sound a little bit weird, because again, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, no matter how good you are, no matter how evil you are, until you eat of the tree of life, it don't even matter. To a degree. To a degree. I'm not saying don't matter as in like, don't give a fuck. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we have an earthly contract, which is usually getting through family life and sacrificing yourself and picking up your cross and, you know, and you know, enduring. But then there's this spiritual side of us, which is more consistent with the good side of the tree, especially when it's linked to, no matter whether you're good or evil, as long as you are eating from the tree of life, getting a taste of Jesus, you're going to endure, you're going to make it, because you're going to always be using the fruit of the Spirit. And I know I sound a little crazy right now, and it's okay, but this reading is going to come out. But I'm going to, see, Okay, the next card at the bottom of the deck, and I'm not going to pull no more cards from the bottom of this deck. I'm going to just hide this. So, but it's the Lovers. So it takes male and female. And it's not limited to just male and female. You can have two males, you can have two females, as long as you're lovers and you're on one accord to raise a family. That's all that matters. But we understand the male and female component as far as the multiplying goes. But when it comes to being fruitful, lovers are lovers. The fruitful part of lovers, the fruitful part of being lovers, you can be same sex, opposite sex, but the multiplication part requires male and female to multiply naturally. Okay, but if you are same sex and you adopt kids, you're still multiplying, you're still being fruitful, and you're still multiplying. Period. It just says be fruitful and multiply. The multiplication part is our creative abilities. Whether we are male and female or same sex, as long as you're multiplying, as long as you're kicking out a family that hone in on their spiritual side, the fruitfulness, fruits of the Spirit, love, charity, joy, meekness, endurance, long suffering. So those are the ones we don't like. Words like long suffering. We don't want to suffer at all. But lovers do. Lovers will suffer together, endure together, tolerate each other. The joy, we all love joy and peace and charity and all that. We all love that part of the fruits of the Spirit. But we all struggle with the long suffering. We struggle with that. But when you're in love, it happens. The job gets done. And I hope I make sense. I hope I do. If I don't, forgive me. I'm doing my best. So I'm going to use the tarot cards that I'm most accustomed to. I think they're called Rider-Waite. What are they called? Yeah, the Rider-Waite tarot deck, yeah. So these are the ones that I have all my little notes written on and all that. So, but those were the ones that Pam gave me. They're more of the original looking ones. Wow, look at these. This reading is deeper than I'm able to explain. So forgive my inability to explain it the way you need it. I see some cards wanting to jump out, but nothing has just flipped out. So I'm going to keep shuffling. Wow, my Lord Jesus. Woo, Lord Jesus. We all are born with a purpose, a calling. We're destined, all that, And God knows our name. He knows our name. He do. And then we have the Seven of Wands, means that we're doing good. We're progressing as we should. We're progressing as we should, yes. There are minor problems that we got to work through, but we're standing up to them. It's not a problem. We're good. We're good. We're doing good despite any conflicts. We're doing good. Any struggles, we're doing good. As long as you're on your purpose and you're working on your calling and you're doing what God, what God have you to do, you're going to come out. All right. You're going to endure. The fruits of the Spirit, endurance, long suffering. You're going to be able to get through it. And it says, because we've already won. I mean, we've already won. You know what I mean? When Jesus came, he said it was finished. But we still got to endure our part. He did his part, but we still got to do our part, knowing that we're already winners. It's almost like when you go to college to study something, or you go to a trade school and you study something, or you're in the family business and you spent years learning the family business trade. You know what you know. Whether you are working a year or 30 years, you know what you know, and you know it with confidence. You already done won, but you still got to get through all the work, all the assignments anyway. Just because you know you've already won don't mean that you don't work. Just like a basketball game. Before the game start, you're supposed to have an attitude that we won this, we got this, we're winners. But you better get in there and work your butt off to make sure. You know what I'm saying? You can't be so cocky that you've won that you don't get out there and dribble that ball and put it in the basket. Right? You still got to get out there and work your ass off to get to the win. Before you can sit on the horse, before you can sit on the horse, before you can sit on that horse, look, before you can sit on that horse with victory, you got to work through the shit. You got to work. You got to work. Bottom of the deck. Yeah, learn a new trade, explore new things. Even if you work in a family business, even if your granddaddy and your daddy or your grandmama or your mama already then built the business, established it, it's your responsibility to bring something new to the game. Bring something new to the family business. Bring something new to the table. Even though you may have already won the battle, you know you've won the war. I'm going to say the war. Even though the war is won, you still got to put your work into it. You still got to do your part, you know. It says rejoice along the way. Because this world, when you know your part in it, you know, you can be committed to it. When you know your calling, when you know your purpose, you can be committed to what you're responsible for. Again, the world is yours because you know your purpose. You know that at some point you're going to die, and before you die, you want to make sure you fulfill your heavenly and earthly contracts, your spiritual growth, and build generationally on this earth and in heaven. There's two places we got to work our asses off for: our heavenly contracts and our earthly contracts. That's what this world card is all about. You know, making sure that your worlds are working continually. You know, whosoever believeth, and don't quit. Whosoever keep on working in the kingdom and keep on working on this earth. Yes, Jesus already did the work. He did his part. He did his part. But we're still responsible for our part. The victory is already won, but you still got to do your part. I'm going to end this with an angel message because I do need to get ready for my dinner date. So, you know, I went skating. I took, for Mother's Day, I took my goddaughter and godson to skating and dinner, you know, their little dinner. I didn't eat with them or anything like that, but I made sure they were okay, you know. And so I'm being taken out tonight. Hey. And so this is celebration, you know. Look again. We have already won because of Jesus. We've already won. And we are always in celebration mode. Your spirit needs to play and have fun. Just because we're on the grind and working and continually making sure we have good progress in heaven and on earth to satisfy our contracts, to satisfy our purpose for being here. You know what I mean? I mean, we were created and made for a reason. Created and made for a reason. And one day we are going to die. But before we do, we got to make sure that, when the seasons change in our life, according to Ecclesiastes, when the seasons change, when old things pass and new things come about, we got to be ready. We got to be ready. So we won't be stuck and hung up in the past. Now, the past is important because it affects our present and future, but we can't be stuck and hung up in it. We got to be ready to change with the seasons and reasons in our life. And we have to respect that during the family years, and in my case it was 31 years, that's some hard labor. Raising a family spiritually and earthly, setting up generational, spiritual, or heavenly wealth and earthly wealth, that ain't no joke. It can get lonely and dark. A lot of people don't make it. I had several suicide attempts trying to make it through it, but I still made it. And it takes love. You gotta love your way through it. You gotta, be married to or joined to people that support you. Your journey, your purpose, that respect your calling, that understands that there's heavenly and earthly contracts that you're both responsible for in order to get the family to a certain place. We gotta always be on our grind, working as a team, as a family team. We've already won. We already won. But that don't mean that we're not supposed to work through it. We got to use the fruits of the Spirit. We got to use the tools, We got to use the tools in this world that are available to us spiritually and naturally to endure for ourselves individually and for our lovers and friends and for our family, heavenly and earthly. We're under a contract. And the whole time we're celebrating. Okay? We're celebrating the whole time through. Yes, we are. The bottom of the deck, angel message is eyes of love. It's all about the love. Love God and love each other as we do our own individual selves. Love each other. See, I love that lover's card. It take love of one another. And lovers is not limited to somebody you're having sex with. No. Love your mother, your father, your uncles, your cousins, your neighbors. Love everybody. Have eyes of love for everyone in your world. Love everyone in your world. In your world. Focus your eyes on loving actions and your lips on loving words. That's so important. Top of the deck. Responsibility, like I said, we are responsible for each other, for each other's heavenly and earthly growth. We are to leave an inheritance, heavenly and earthly. We're under contract to do so. Take responsibility for your own happiness. Yes, for your own world. Take responsibility for the world you create. The people that you choose to have in your world to love, be responsible for that love. God is so good. Click like, subscribe. If you relate or resonate to this reading at all, I sure do. I sure do. I will be riding a horse on the beach. Okay. And hummingbirds, look up hummingbirds. This is deep. Card 44. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 is all about eternity. Coyote and wolves. very intelligent creatures, you know. So, I think that's it, guys. If you want a personal reading on what your specific purpose and calling is, you know, according to Ecclesiastes, you know, if you want to understand more about, you know, how to reproduce and grow spiritually and naturally, if you want to understand what your spiritual and earthly contracts are before you die to make sure that you have fulfilled them, you need to email me at Dr. Leisha the Preacher at gmail.com. And if you already have benefited from this free reading, this is free. This is for the taking. If you've already benefited and you feel all blessed and enlightened, like, oh my gosh, she just hit all the points, boom, 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 you can give me a love offering. Give me a love offering. A love offering. At $ Dr. Leisha the Preacher on my Cash App. I have a Cash App. $ Dr. Leisha the Preacher. Well, be blessed. I love you guys. I love my blue hair, y'all. I have some other blue hair, and it's much darker blue hair, but it's in Michigan. So I went and bought me some Florida blue hair. You know, I'm being blessed. God is just so, he's just blessing me in so many different ways, you know. And it just took me, I just feel like sniffing my sage, Mama J sage. This is Mama J's sage bits. And y'all know how I feel about my little feather that I found in the park nearby. So anyway, you know, God is so good. You know, he's just blessing me in all kind of ways. And I'm learning how to respect myself more and demand respect from other people. You know, because I lived like I was mostly a stay-at-home wife and mom, and felt like a doormat. You know what I mean? And it's easy in that mode. Unless you were a stay-at-home parent, it's not even limited to just moms. Stay-at-home dads, stay-at-home moms and dads, stay-at-home parents that give up financial freedom to make sure the family get to a certain place. My heart goes out to you. Happy Mother's Day, happy Father's Day, happy day. We get trampled. Because, oh, here's my skate. It says skate rental. Yeah, I went skating, guys. I still got the band on. But I'm going to take it off for dinner because I don't want to be wearing this to dinner. I want to wear other jewelry for dinner, okay? All right, I love you guys. Be blessed. This is already at almost 43 minutes. This is 43-minute video. Love you guys.